Do you know what? I've decided that is an awfully long time to wait. It is what it is. It's been a while, folks. Welcome back to All Leeds TV. And this is our anticipated Keep Loan Sale edition, as it is the transfer season. And Leeds have been busy already. But we're not going to go into too much talk about who we've brought in, or who is on their way out the door, etc. We planned to do this a few weeks ago, but life happens, folks. Life happens. It is what it is. Joined with the lovely Rhiannon. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. It's just the usual, isn't it? While it's off season, you just got work and then nothing else.
Yeah, it's boring as hell. Boring as hell without the football. It really is. And Mike, you've been keeping yourself busy on our TikTok, haven't you, sir?
Yeah, I've done a few.
You've done a few. You've also got rid of your face fuzz. You look embarrassing.
Oh, don't. I hate it.
You need to grow it back.
It slips.
It slipped. It slipped. Oh, my God. Right, so if you are joining us tonight and you are in the chat, etc., please do make sure you keep it respectful. Don't be posting any silly, naughty links. And as always, smash the like for us too. Now, for anyone that doesn't really know what's about to happen, I've literally just explained to Rhiannon and Mike what's going down here. And what's going down is that for anyone that has watched a show back in the day called Snog, Marry, Avoid, this is kind of what we're doing with the players. And we're going to go through the players. What? Is this for real? Did that just happen?
Oh, dearie me.
Oh, God, this is how it's going. This is how it's going. What the hell? So, yes, for anyone that's previously watched Snog, Marry, Avoid, what we're going to do is we're going to flash a player's name up. We're going to go through them. Initially, the plan was I had graphics that it was going to flash an actual player up on the screen. But as you can see now, Mike is covered by cock. So we're not going to be able to get away with this if we're going to be flashing up the likes of cock and things like that there. So instead, we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to go through all the players. If we do forget anyone, please let me know and we'll go through them. And all we want to know in the comments is, would you keep them? Would you loan them? Or would you sell them? And we're going to be discussing each one. And trust me, there's a lot of players. We know some are already on their way out. We're not going to be discussing who is going or what is happening. We're going to be talking about what each of us would like to see. And we want to see in the comments what you want to see. Okay, so we all ready to go?
Ready, yeah.
Sorry, I've been entertaining kids for the past 3 days now, and I'm in full children's entertainer mode. It's crazy. But let's kick this off. We're going to start off with the three keepers on the books from last season. I don't know if there's been any additions. I know Caprine's away. My wife's just leaving a box of ice cream there at the top melting. I'm trying to work here, woman. Sorry about this. Right, so we're going to start off with, of course, the French Terminator, Ilan Melier. Rhiannon, what's your thoughts on Melier?
Keeping him.
Keep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thing is, he didn't have a cracking season last season, did he? But everyone else had a shocking season, so.
Yeah.
And also,
Mike?
he still was breaking records because he saved the most goals. I think it was something like 79 or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Keep.
Yeah, we had a bad record for goals conceded last season, but let's hope that is in the rear mirror, because the previous season he had a record for most clean sheets by a goalkeeper in the top flight under the age of 23 or 21. I mean, he is still young as well, and he's still got a brave long while on his contract too. Mike, what say you with Ilan Melier?
Got to keep him and wait. I mean, even Joe Hart, when he was his age, he then obviously had the record originally. I think he then conceded lots of goals the following season, and then went on at a decent season. So you got to keep him.
Yeah, just going to run through the comments here quickly. It looks like an overwhelming consensus for Ilan Melier will be, of course, keep. So he will not be going anywhere. Sorry, Mike, that you're covered up again there.
That's fine.
You shouldn't have shaved your beard. We're doing you a favour here. We're doing you a favour. Right, next. Klassen. Klassen only had one appearance for us last season.
And it was an incredible appearance.
It was fantastic. I watched him quite a few times for the under-23s prior to when he came on against Wolves, and in the under-23s he was a bit shaky. I was a bit nervous about him and thought we need another keeper. Then he came on against Wolves and he had that performance and made a couple of tremendous saves. For me, I'd be keeping him, but a part of me sort of going, I want to see him get a wee bit of game time, so I would maybe consider loaning him. Rhiannon, I'll go to you again. What would be your thoughts on Klassen?
It's all depending on our business, isn't it? If I'm saying from this standpoint now, where we haven't got a new backup goalkeeper in, then keep. But if we get an experienced backup goalkeeper through, maybe Ben Foster or someone like that, that wouldn't mind being second and can actually teach Melier a few things, just in regards to his distribution more than anything in the Premier League, then I'd want to see him out on loan just so he gets a bit more game time, a bit more experience.
Yeah.
Because he's not really getting much in, because all he's getting is training, his under 23s, and then just sitting on the bench, isn't he? So, yeah.
Yeah. Mike, what's your thoughts there on Klassen as well?
I think even if we do get an experienced keeper, I'd say keep him, but as long as we're definitely playing him in the cup games. This is a time where we don't just have Melier playing every game, cup, league. We need to rotate it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if we get an experienced goalkeeper in as a backup, surely they'll be playing in the cup games rather than Melier as well. So, say, for example, if Ben Foster does come, he'd probably be the one to be playing in the cup games rather than Claesson. So he's literally only going to have his
I think if it's Ben Foster, then in that case, then loan. But if it's just some other old keeper that's never going to play, like Grant or something like that.
Yeah.
Then,
Tashin Reitner, that is an insult to clowns. As a professional clown that I am, please do not tarnish clowns with the Kiko brush. But yeah, listen, the general consensus in the comments and from you guys, it seems to be keep him. But if we have a backup, a proper experienced backup, it is a case of saying Klassen out on loan. It looks to be the general consensus. I agree. I would agree with that. I think Klassen, as I said, I want to see him get some first team football. He's not going to get that with us. And I think smart move would be to get someone like Ben Foster in so that the younger keepers can learn and he can teach them, and especially Melier. But yeah, listen, I think definitely wouldn't be selling them. Definitely get him out on loan.
I mean, because Foster is available, isn't he? Because he's been released by Watford. So I'd just go for him. Like,
I think he has said he's interested as well.
Did he?
From what I've heard, that he would be interested in coming.
Yeah, well, he'd be interested. Like, he still would be interested, even if he's number 2. Like he said, he's comfortable in being someone's number 2. Like, he doesn't mind, because obviously he is coming towards the end of his career now. But yeah, I don't know. It depends how Rads feels about his YouTube channel.
I think it was on that.
No, because that's like literally probably the one of the main reasons why Watford released it, because the owner just was not happy with his channel, and that he was asked to not do the YouTube videos anymore, and he just completely was like, "Nah, I'm still doing them."
He's probably getting good money from it too.
Exactly.
Maybe not the level of money he's getting from being a professional footballer, but you know, it's an extra bit of income that he doesn't tell the tax man about. Anyway, on to someone that has just been mentioned, Kiko, who's not a clown. Just to clarify, Casilla, folks, he's back. He's still on the books. I don't know what's going on with him, but there doesn't seem to be any sign that we're selling him. What would you do with Kiko as he's been dubbed the clown? What would you be doing with him, Rhiannon?
Terminate his contract.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly don't think we could sell him. Like, we tried to loan him out to a Spanish team to see if we could palm him off that way. They didn't want him. So I'm just like, just terminate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, make off a few more, like, you know, a few, well, like a few bob. But I think it's worth it. I mean, especially for where we're trying to, like, make of ourselves, you know, try and become a established team in the Premier League, then we need to do these, we need to make these kind of decisions, and we need to get rid of all the dead wood. So get rid.
Yeah. I was looking for that comment. John says he personally drank his at the airport. You pay someone to take him, just get rid of him. There's an interesting point. Peacock Farrow is better than Kiko. That says it all. Mike, what do you think? Is there anything you want to add to that?
You just got to get rid of him. He's on 40k a week or something like that. Ridiculous amount. Just get rid of him.
Yeah. Right. Well, then the general consensus for Kiko, the rubbish keeper who got into trouble for maybe saying something or maybe not saying something, but he was found guilty on the probability that he done something. Plus, he's an absolute muppet. Sell. There we go. I had no sound effects, so I had to do that myself. Impressive, I know. Right. That is us done with the keepers. We're not going to be touching on the new signings, simply because they've literally just signed. Get a grip of your life. I've seen people saying already, Arnson's not good enough. I'm just like, get out of my life. So we have got a whole array of defenders and utility players, the likes of Shackleton and Dallas. And I'm going to kick things off with Cody Drama. Cody Drama obviously went out on loan from Cardiff, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cardiff.
Yeah, why did I think Swansea there? And he got their Young Player of the Year and their Player of the Year. And to be honest,
which actually proves a lot, really, to say that he went there. Like, how bad are the Cardiff players?
Yeah. But then you could look at it, how good was Cody Drama?
Yeah.
But I was one of the ones that was certainly on the bandwagon of, well, Cody Drama, go F yourself. Pardon my French.
Yeah, because why? Because he tried to. Why? Because he forced the move.
Yeah. And that, I was a bit like, well, if you don't want to be here at Leeds and learn from Bielsa and this and that, I was like, well, then shove you, see you. You're not wanted. And then he goes and does that, and he literally proved his point while he was away on loan that he was good enough and he was capable. But then you look at a couple of performances before he went out on loan, and he didn't really, I don't know, he didn't stand out the way he did in the Championship. Rhiannon, what would you do with Cody?
My mind is just not made up on him at all. Like, there's half of me that says I just loan him out, because, I mean, we now got Rasmus in as right back. Like, Ayling's supposed to come back in September, so we'll have him as a backup, and then you have other defenders that can play right back or cover right back at least. Like, I mean, because like Robin did a job, didn't he, at right back against Brentford against Brentford.
Yeah, Robin Klopp is brilliant at right back.
Yeah, so I'd say just put him out on loan, or maybe just sell him to Cardiff if they take him back.
If they wanted him, yeah. Mike, what about you?
Sorry.
No, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm just saying, if he's done so well in the Championship, maybe he's found his level.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And maybe he just needs a bit more experience. The first team.
Yeah.
It was a big jump even from the under-23s to the Championship. It's a massive, massive jump, massive difference. Right, Mike. What about you?
I definitely wouldn't sell him. So it's just a case of whether or not he's going to get cup games or minutes in the league. Considering we are getting 5 substitutes next season.
Yeah.
If he's not guaranteed X amount of minutes, then loan him out.
Yeah. So I'm just looking through the comments here just to see what the general consensus is with Cody Drama. And it's a very, very mixed sort of response to him. A lot of people don't want to see him sold. But there seems to be quite a few saying that to loan him to get that game time again. I'm going to go with the fact that he's going to want to play next year. He's made it clear he wants to play football as well. I think we should maybe loan him. I think that's what we should do.
I mean, look, it's like what Andy said in the comments. Like, he says, I think Drama will get frustrated this year if he doesn't get game time and may put a transfer request in. I think he will get frustrated, and he will want game time from Marsh, and Marsh won't be able to give it him because we've got Rasmus. Like, Rasmus, if you've seen him, he looks like he's going to be like freaking Gitano Grande. Like, I honestly see him being a mixture of Alioski and Berardi, and if he doesn't, I'm going to be severely disappointed because he looks like a proper shithouser.
He does. I can't wait to see him.
He's built like a brick wall, and I'm just expecting him to just do things.
Yeah, so he's so agile. Like, see, watching him for Denmark and stuff, I was just like, oh my god, that's our new right back. Like, he's good. He is really good. And I think ideally, if we were to choose between Drama and Ayling as the number 2 right back, I'd be choosing Drama.
So
what between Ayling and Drama?
If I had to pick between Ayling or Drama to be the backup right back, I'd be choosing Drama.
Yeah, right. Okay, I kind of see where you might be coming from on that. But I'd pick Ayling only because, like, Premier League, I know. Well, I'm going to say again, like, Ayling really didn't light it up last season, but no one did. Like, literally no one. So you can't really take last season really to credit because everyone did really, really bad. But the season before, I thought at times Ayling did do a really good job and put many really good teams, like the top 6, on toast most games. So you can't really, if you look at it, Drama and Ayling, he's got Premier League experience, and he unfortunately is obviously one of our leaders. Like, the fact I can't see him getting picked over Drama. I can't. As a backup.
I agree with you. I don't see him getting picked over Drama. I would rather have Drama. For me, Drama's up and coming. Drama's the future. And even if we do loan him out for one more
But this
season,
is why, but this is why I'm saying maybe he should go to Cardiff to get that more game time, so then he can sort of bed himself in and get, and just prove to Marsh that he's worth having a, a punt on. But we probably won't see him maybe until at least next season. Maybe it depends how this season goes, doesn't it? I mean, I think the ones that definitely do deserve a chance this season, especially in the first team, Geldart and Greenwood.
Yeah, well, we'll get to them, and I'm really glad he's actually been offered a new contract. I don't know if it's been signed yet or anything. I haven't been paying too much attention to Twitter due to the fact that there's so many meltdowns because Leeds Twitter is mental. Honestly, you should actually need your own psychological counselor to be part of Leeds Twitter. It is absolutely crazy at the minute. But anyway, since we've been talking about Bill, we are going to continue talking about Bill. We have touched on a lot of things, and the big thing that I like what you said about Bill Rihanna is that he is one of the leaders in there, regardless of his ability. I do think he's on his way out. He's only maybe got a year or two left in him. And even at that year or two, I don't see him as the number one right back anymore. No. Especially with Rasmussen now. But would you keep him to be part of that squad, or would you sell him? I don't think anyone would loan someone his age.
No, I'd keep him. Like you say, Scotty, I think he's only got a good maybe a year or two. Like some people have said in the comments, and I totally agree. Like, his age is against him now, and he's getting past his prime, and we will probably see him then getting sold to a lower league team, to play out the rest of his career. But for now, I think I think he should be kept as a squad player, because I think he'd be able to keep the morale up and obviously be a leader. Like, it's like with Cooper. Like, even though Cooper wasn't always there last season on the actual pitch, he was still in the dressing room. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's more ways to being a leader rather than just being on the pitch. So I think it's worth to keep him.
Yeah, Mike, you've been very quiet down there. You don't sound the same without your beard.
I said I think it was December, we needed a new right back. We've got one. I just think it's time for him to go. We're not going to get much money for him anyway, so whatever we get is going to be pittance.
Yeah.
In today's market. But I don't think he's cut out for this level. Yes, he's a leader, so you're going to have him just behind the doors or whatever on the bench. I don't see him starting many games at all. I'd say just sell him personally.
Right, okay. Just looking at the comments here, just a lot of ones saying to keep him. One or two saying sell. But this is a fair point. We could end up having a lot of injuries again this season.
And that's another reason why I say keep Scotty, because the thing is, we're trying to get squad depth, aren't we? We've been under Bielsa with a very thin squad, and the last thing you want to do is, say for example, we've got Rasmussen, and he will be our number one. He will be our number one right back, and he will start literally every game, unless whatever.
Do you think, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, do you think Ayling could become a problem in the change room because he's not going to be that first choice?
I don't even think he'd be second choice, to be fair. Because if you say Koch, he started playing really well in the last game, so you've got the choice of more drama for second choice, then that leaves third. So in my opinion, he'd be fourth choice right back.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'd want to put Robin as one of the first choice centre backs, not a backup right back. I'd be wanting him to see. I think I'd like to see him and Cooper personally as our centre back.
Have him as a centre back.
I know people won't probably agree with Cooper because again he's one of those that are aging. But we did play better with Cooper in centre back rather than the other partnerships. But yeah, I'd still keep Ayling just because, like I say, we need the squad depth, and this is it. We just need it for this season. Like we can sell him next season, like at the end of next season, like this coming season. Sorry, like in the summer. But while we're building our squad depth, because we're in a complete different new regime now, we need to keep some of the
some of the old hands. Yeah. No, I agree. I think overall then the general consensus on ball watcher Bill, as I called him most of last season, is to keep him. And he can be bench warmer. That's terrible. But no, and I think the thing is I don't want us to sound like we're being disrespectful to the players that have brought us up here and stuff. It's a case of we've moved on and we'll have to keep growing, we'll have to keep building. Sentimentality stopped us from progressing last season, I think. And a lot of the old hands that got us up were given so much respect and guaranteed places and stuff under Bielsa and things. That it then prevented us from signing new players because obviously there was that connection of sort of loyalty to them, I think. And now it's a case of, look, the club, the squad, Leeds has to come first. And Leeds is bigger than any player or manager that we have. So as long as it comes first and it keeps growing and getting better, I don't think anyone that helped bring us to the dance could be upset if they're being left out. Their contribution will always be appreciated and never forgotten. Cock, which was it's been a topic of debate already. I love it. This is just flowing. It's just flowing. Mention the name. Yeah, I'm going to go with Cock now. Cock, as you said, he's a centre back. He's played CDM when Phillips has been out. He wasn't great there. He looked more confident, in my opinion, whenever he played alongside Pascal Strike. And that partnership, and for me personally, that's my dream centre back pairing that we can choose from. So, or even sort of Strike and Creswell. But we've seen him play at right back, and he done a job at right back. He really did. For me, Cock was actually our best right back all season long. And that includes Jamie Shackleton, who you know I have a love affair with. Rhiannon, talk me through Cock. What are your thoughts on Cock? What would you do?
You just love saying his surname, don't you?
What? He's a great player. Like, Mike loves him so much, he's got it on his face. Right now. He's got Cock on his face right now.
Well, I would say keep. Like I said, he did a really good job at right back. I think you're right. He didn't play too well at CDM, but centre back, I honestly think, Scotty, like you said, centre back partnership, the perfect one would be Robin and Pascal, right? And I think that will be our future. Maybe not this season, but next season. You know, or like something like building towards that. Because at the moment we do have Diego that might actually get more games, and you might have Cooper. I don't know. I really don't know what Jesse's going to pick. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't know which partnership he's going to go with, because he's got so many options. Like, we are stacked in defence.
We are. And yet people are still gurning on Twitter, oh, we need to buy another centre back. To do what? We don't
need to buy another centre back.
Why?
No, we need to buy another left back. There's a difference. We need to buy another left back, because unfortunately we can't just rely on Firpo. I'm sure, and I hope I am right, that he's going to blow it all out of the water this coming season. That he's going to prove everyone wrong, and we're going to be fanning over him like nobody's business. But until we actually see it at the start of the season, I think we need another. Yeah. But I'd keep for Robin. I think he's doing really well. I think he's doing bits here in Leeds, and I hope he continues to do so and he stays with us for a very long time.
Brilliant. Mike, thoughts on Cock?
You've got to keep him. I think anyone who says Sal just doesn't really understand. Like, he's versatile. He can play right back, centre back. He can play CDM, okay, fair enough, he wasn't the best. But if you need cover, he can do it. So all round, I think we just have to keep him. Yeah. And yes, I would be starting him.
Yeah.
I would start him centre back, and then obviously if we need him at right back, then you'd move him over to right back because we've got that many centre backs that could just fill in.
Yeah. It's good that he is that versatile, and we've seen a different side of Cock. We've actually seen a few sides of Cock the past season. And right back, I'm still kind of in awe of just how impressive he actually was at right back. But yeah, overall consensus from us here on the panel and from you watching at home on your tablets, laptops, telephones, on your TV, your Xbox, your PlayStation, wherever you're watching it from. The overall consensus is, what are we going to do with our Cock? We're going to keep it. We are going to keep Cock. We're going to keep it exactly where it belongs. On the pitch. Right. Right, Creswell. Whilst it's looking likely he's heading out on loan, is that what you would do with Creswell? Would you loan him out or sell him or hang on to him and keep him here, training with the first team in the hopes that he'll get game time?
See, this is tough with Creswell because as much as I'd want to keep him in the squad, like I've said, like we are stacked in defence in his position. Like if we do have a couple of injuries, like you've got Cooper, Robin, Pascal, Llorente. So that's 4 centre backs. Like it's. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he is a monster. Like, I'd put him above some of those defenders and play him. Like, I'd play him over Diego. I'd play him over Pascal in some instances. But unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Like, that is our most stacked position. And I'd rather him go on loan and get game time and build up his play, and actually get experience. So then he can come back to Leeds and then blow everyone else out the water and says, this is my spot. Yeah. I'm playing for Leeds. I can play in the Premier League. And then just act even more of a monster and just put everyone on toast. Do you know what I mean? I love him so much. Like, I love Charlie. Like, yeah.
I find it hard to disagree with that. Personally, Mike, what about yourself? Where do you stand with Creswell?
I thought beforehand loan, because most teams have 4 centre backs anyway, and you don't tend to swap your centre pairings around. Okay, fair enough, we did last season, but you don't tend to do it if you've got a stable side. And I think this season we are going to have more stability at the back than we have done in the last 2 seasons. So for that, I'd definitely say loan.
Yeah, loan. Okay. Just looking at the comments here, and it does seem to be a general consensus of loan Creswell out at the moment. And it is not down to the fact that nobody wants him. It's a case of he's going to want game time. He deserves game time. I think at the minute he needs that experience. Would you agree with that's fair then? Loan?
Yeah.
Loan. I think nowhere. Maybe we get a next week loan fee for him.
I think we need a recall loan. So say, for example, up till January he's smashing it, keeping all these clean sheets, tackles, whatever. Then we can bring him back.
Bring him back, 100%. 100%. I just keep picturing like a back 4 of Strike, Creswell, Rasmus, and Firpo. To be honest, I think Firpo's going to have an absolute smashing season, based on nothing other than my own misguided blind belief that everyone that comes to Leeds seems to have a borderline average or crap first season. And then the second season, they're like, where did this come from? And I'll always go back to Bamford's first season with us, and everyone called him Barn Door Bamford because he couldn't hit a barn door. And then look what he done. You know, so I'm always going to go with that. And LUfC had a crap first season too, and then he turned into an alright player, but he was memorable. Right, we're moving on from Creswell. We have got 3 more centre backs to go through. We have loads of players to go through here, so I'm going to be speedy with a couple. Llorente, I already think a lot of people are going to be saying sell him. But Rhiannon, I'm going to come to you first.
Oh, I think sell, but it's not going to happen because we need the squad. Right, we need the squad depth, and we're stacked. Yeah. And Jesse Marsh isn't going to sell him. I just know, they're not gonna. He's going to stay with us at least another sort of season or 2 before anything happens. But thing is, though, what gets me is that, like I say, he was so bad last season, but everyone else was, and that's what's so frustrating is that you can't clearly critique any of them last season because they were all shocking. They all just fell apart mentally. Don't know what the hell was going on. They just weren't playing as a team and they weren't gelling. But the season before, there's times where I thought, freaking hell, if that was any other player, it'd be like everyone would just be like, what the hell are you doing? Blah blah. It's like, for example, where is it? It's like when we played Southampton and I keep forgetting his name. Is it Teller or someone like that? Went in.
Yes, Nathan Teller.
Yeah, he went in and he played and he went flat down in the 6-yard box.
Yeah,
wanting a penalty, and Diego's like, no, I pulled out, but he played that so well, and it went to VAR, and it turned out that he dived, and so obviously we didn't get the penalty. But anyone else, they would have fouled him, like proper fouled him, and we would have conceded a penalty, if that makes sense. I think he can be smart with his play, and you don't play in the Spain national team for no reason. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be good. But yeah, like I said, just last season, I'm just writing them all off as just like a one-off. I should no, because you've got it's hard, but we've got to give them all a chance this season. And if they don't do cracking, then they will rightly deserve criticism. But it's hard to actually criticize them last season when they all did shockingly bad. But I don't know if I'm basing it on the first season in the Premier League, keep. If I'm basing it on last season, sell.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Mike, your thoughts on that?
Keep him.
Keep him.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a decent season.
Yeah. I think he played a lot better when Cooper was beside him. I felt he tended to make less rash decisions.
Yeah, when you see their partnership, I think that's always been the case with their partnership. He likes some experienced head next to him. So if he makes the mistake, it's there to be cleared up, and he gets told. Whereas if he was playing with, say, Cresswell or Pascal, they're not going to be shouting at each other, saying, "Look, you need to do this." So next time you make a mistake, you're not going to do it.
Yeah. Let me see what everyone's saying in the comments. Steve Brown, worried about his mental toughness, and he appears to pick up mysterious injuries in tough games. Sell. Blinky Fish, sell. D. Turley, sell. Flash Clogs, sell Llorente next season. TD5, you'd sell Llorente and Cooper. We'll get to Cooper next. Sell Llorente and keep Creswell. If that was a genuine possibility, I'd be behind that personally.
I'd do that in a second. I'd snap their hand off.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that wouldn't? Am I the only one that would keep Llorente for the season and sell Cresswell?
Keep? No. You said
No,
sell?
no. So I'd keep Llorente and I'd loan Cresswell.
Oh, you keep Llorente and loan Cresswell?
Yeah.
So essentially what's happening?
Yeah. They will need to comment why.
Yeah. No, I'm just going through the comments here to see. Listen, overall, there seems to be a general consensus of whilst we do need the squad depth, Llorente is one that we would sell. Seems to be. Let's hope that he has a great season, and if we sell him next season, the stock goes up. I think a big thing that's going to keep him around at the minute is the fact that he's played before in Spain with Roca and Firpo at the international level, and Rodrigo. We've got 4 essentially Spanish internationals in this team now. You know, that's that sort of getting the team chemistry to click that just automatically comes. You've got 4 players from the same international country. Boom. It might sound like I'm waffling a bit there, but hopefully someone picks up on what I'm trying to say is that they will have instant chemistry, and that could change how Llorente performs on the pitch. But saying about Llorente and Cooper's partnership as centre-back pair, so we'll go into Cooper now. I just want to say personally, whilst Cooper is not even close, in my opinion, to being a top quality Premier League level centre-back, what he brings into the team when he plays is irreplaceable. He does have a level-headedness. He has got great leadership throughout the whole pitch. And I think he does help maintain normality as much as possible in that back line. I love the communication he has with Melier, which is much better than the communication he had with Casilla previously. For me personally, Cooper is one of the old hands that for me stays and retires with Leeds and maybe goes on to a coaching role, scouting role, something. For me, Cooper finishes his career with us. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go to Rihanna first again. I'll change it up when I go to midfield.
I'd keep Cooper.
Yeah.
I think it showed a lot that when it was a bit like KP, wasn't it? When you take your spine players out of the team, it's very noticeable. Yes, Cooper has a mistake in him. We all know that, but so does everyone else. And it's just more noticeable because he is the centre back, and I feel sometimes he gets unnecessary flack. People still have, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think a lot of fans' minds have changed over the last couple of seasons, but you know, having the League One Liam tag, etc., I just thought it was a bit unfair on him. But yeah, I'd keep him. I think he's a great leader. I think he's a great captain. I think he organises that back line very well. It's very noticeable when he's not there, especially when Diego's playing. I think Diego loses his head a lot more when Cooper's not alongside him. He calms down the rate of play a lot. And I just think even if he's not first choice, he should still be kept. He should be a bench player. He should be in the dressing room because I think he'd be I just think he's a great example. I think he's a great role model for all the young ones coming through, like Joffrey, etc. And you know, just being there for advice, having an arm around the shoulder, that kind of thing. He's worth keeping around.
Yeah, Mike.
Straightforward keep.
Yeah.
The leadership. As it stands, he's still our captain, regardless of whether he plays every week or not. I don't see him playing every game, even if he's fit.
Mm-hmm.
But just the leadership there, he can it calms down the tempo of the game, which is what you need in certain games, like every situation, basically.
Yeah. No, I tend to agree. For me, Cooper, as I've said, Cooper's a mainstay. I don't want to see him go anywhere. Comments very 50-50. Hill, keep. Steve Brown, keep. Flash Clog, sell him now. Blinky Fish, sell him. Keep Cooper there. John Knox, sell him. Heathers Brown, for some reason, is out to get Jesse March for saving us from being relegated. That's weird. Madman says keep him. Mick Brown, sell him. John Knox, sell him. TD5, sell. Quite a few saying keep him. He's a squad player. Jack Simpson, he's not the best centre back, but he's still our best centre back. Again, that leadership and level-headedness. Our Cooper, yeah. I think for me, the main thing with Cooper is he embodies side before self. I think that's the best way I can describe Liam Cooper. He embodies side before self. And for that, Coops is kept right up until he retires. That's it. 42 years old. Assistant coach, player, and women's team head coach. I don't know. He'll be here till the day he retires, I hope. So yes, Cooper we're keeping, and this leads us to our final centre back. We might have to do this in a two-parter, folks, because we have got a lot of players to go here. Pascal Struijk, the alternative option to Liam Cooper, and many people's first choice left-sided centre back. For me, there's no debate with Pascal Struijk. It's a keep. I wouldn't loan him. I wouldn't even entertain an offer. Even if a big one came in, wouldn't even entertain it. Rhiannon, what are you feeling about the big Belgian / Dutchman? Has he chose what side he's going to play for you?
I don't think so. And with a 50 head.
He used to score cracker goals with his head for the under 23s.
Keep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No brainer. Keep.
Yeah.
Right. Keep.
Yeah. And literally every single comment coming in, keep. So what are we going to do with Pascal? We're going to keep him. Unless Rads gets greedy and decides to sell him. Anyway, we're not going to go down that route today. Right, a player we have discussed several times. This is a player that he kind of sparks up debate of, was he a good signing? Is he... All season long, Junior Firpo. Been with us 1 year. Didn't have a great first year with us. But as I've said so many times, going forward, he's brilliant. And I think in Jesse March's system, he will flourish. Rhiannon, Firpo.
I've been saying all season, sell, but I'd keep him. Like, we can't, like, he is a left back. I can't see the club getting another left back. I'd like to think that he did play better under Marsh than he did with Bielsa. There is a mistake in him, just like there is with everyone, but I just think his are just more obvious, and the ones that don't need to be made. And I just think I'm hoping that this pre-season, this whole summer, while they're training, his head gets screwed on, and those silly mistakes, them silly errors. I think sometimes it's just him overthinking. Like when he's got the ball, he just overthinks things, and then he just makes silly mistakes. So if that can get sort of trained out of him, come this season starting, hopefully he'll prove us all wrong and play really well. So I'd keep him because we need the squad depth. There's no point in selling him and then getting another left back in, because we're still in the same situation. We still need another left back as a backup. Yeah. but obviously the club aren't going to go for one because they're not a prime target at the moment. As we need squad depth elsewhere because of certain outgoings. So yeah.
Mike, what about you on Firpo? Do you think we're going to see a completely different junior Firpo this season with Jesse March's ball fully implemented, the new soccer ball style that we're going to see at Ellen Road?
Yeah, I think we definitely keep him. Keep him for another season, see how that goes. He will score this season. Yes, fair enough. I said that he scored last season, but he will score this season. Keep him.
Yeah. Right, okay. I'm going to throw one out there. I haven't put his name in yet. I will throw it in. Leif Davis has been training with the team, and there doesn't seem to be any indications he's going anywhere. Do you think Firpo, we're not looking at left back because Jesse March is looking at it and going, right, well, we've got Firpo, we've got Leif Davis, and whenever he's fit again, you've Sturdy Dallas, plus Leo Held can play at left back. Jesse March has been seen over time to be a bit like David O'Leary. I think Oscar actually described him as a bit like O'Leary, where he likes to give the young guys a chance. Do you see if Firpo's not working out, Leif Davis or Leo Held gets a chance at left back maybe?
Yeah. If it doesn't work out, say 5 to 10 games, then switch it up, or even then that's why you've got, like I said before, 5 subs. Then you see more of the youngsters come in, and if they're performing better, then play them.
Yeah. Well, just looking at the comments, all 3 of us are saying in regards to Firpo, we keep. That's what our general consensus is. But this is all Leeds TV. This is the fans' voice, and we aren't the only fans here right now. You are too, and it looks like you lot are all saying, "Get shot of him." Get him in the bin. Someone actually said create a new option for him and stick him in the bin. It goes to show opinions are like our souls. Everyone's is very, very different. Or is it everyone's got one? Anyway, Davis, I'm not going to get into it again because we don't really know what's happening. Is he going to be here or not?
But the thing is, no one wants him either.
No, that's that.
Which speaks volumes, if you ask me. It speaks volumes. The fact that he played 11 games under Bournemouth, then weren't being played, and then when you're getting offered out to the likes of Ipswich, etc., and they don't even want you. What does that say about the player? Like, is this like Ray pointed out? Is it an attitude problem? Is that why they don't want him? Is it is it work ethic? What is it? And at the moment, yes, he is training with us, but it's just so Jesse can see if he's worth keeping.
Yeah, that's fair.
So if he stays, I reckon he will probably be the backup to Firpo, while is it Helder or whatever his name is? Gets molded into a left back position, and then eventually Helder will just take over that spot, and then. If Firpo moves on, then maybe he'll be, first option. I don't know, but
where did I? Someone's commented there's something about Jesse March is actually quoted saying that Leo Helde is actually the backup left back for us this season. Oh. That's why he doesn't want one. So if that's the case,
so obviously
Davis is essentially surplus to requirements.
Yeah,
but nobody wants him.
Nobody wants him. So is it a case of? So we're not going to discuss then, do we keep him, sell him, loan? We're going to say, well, do you just try and terminate his contract, or do you loan him out hoping that he has a good season with someone?
How long's he got left?
2 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't terminate it. You got to try and loan him.
Yeah. So we'll loan me Leif. There we go. See you later, Leif. Sorry. I know Stuart Dallas really, really likes Leif Davis.
It does. Like, you saw it on the training video. It was like, oh my God, you're back. Like,
he really likes Leif Davis. So I'm like, well, if my Sturdy likes him, your Sturdy, Rihanna would know how you feel about Mr. Dallas. Right, so we've got another option here. I've probably spelled this wrong, but I'm going to throw it up. That's definitely spelt wrong.
No,
Leo
it's
Helda. Is it right?
Yeah.
I think it's right.
I think it's because it's all caps. It looks weird. Big Joe's in. What's a crack, mucker? What's a crack? Right. Leo Helda, Jesse March. It's been quoted and a few people saying that he is the backup left back for Junior Firpo. You happy with that? Or is it, loan him, get him a bit more experience in game time, or just get shot of him and sell him? Rhiannon, come to you first.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy for us to keep him. I'm happy for him to be back up because we need someone to be back up, don't we, at the end of the day? And I think he deserves his chance. I mean, Jesse gave Joffrey Greenwood more of a chance, up front. And it's worked well out for them guys. So why not?
Yeah. What would you make?
Yeah, keep him.
Keep him. Yeah, the few commenting in there saying about Helda, keep. It's all keep. Everyone wants to keep him. Somebody actually said to keep Joe. Yeah, Joe's gone. Joe's doing good. Joe's doing really, really good. It's fine. It's fine. But overall, we are going to keep Leo Helda. Leo Helda will be our left back up. Right. That's all for the defenders. Bar one, but he's a utility man. We've got two kind of utility men. And we are, of course, going to go with Mike Hinsman, the Northern Iron machine, the man from Cookstown, the Cafu, the one and only Sturdy Dallas. You are my sunshine. Whatever. Rhiannon, would you like to share anything about Sturdy Dallas?
I love him.
I don't even need to ask you, would you keep him? Because someone tells me you would lock him up under your stairs and never let him out. Like we're going full Harry Potter.
I'm not into kidnapping, by the way, just so you know. I'm not that way.
Interesting story. I was out doing a kids' party yesterday, and while I'm getting out of the car, sorry, totally non-Leeds related, because you said about kidnapping, and it made me think of this. These kids run up to me. I'm standing in this park dressed as a clown, and these kids are like, can I get my photo with you? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. They're like, you're not going to kidnap me, are you? And I said, well, if it was, I wouldn't tell you. And secondly, there's no room in my car, so if I'm going to kidnap you, I'll use my van. And they absolutely freaked out and panicked, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, back to Sturdy.
But no, genuinely, I'd keep him because it's a bit unfair to sell him when he's broken his leg. Like, give him a chance. Like,
well, we kept Adam Forshaw, and he had broken his entire Adam Forshaw.
No, seriously, like what he did for our first season back in the Premier League was a joke what he did. He literally was a machine. And just the fact that he scored a brace against Man City, that's just enough just to give him a chance for another season.
Yeah. We've had one person saying, sell Dallas.
No.
Gobsmacked at that. Mike, yourself?
Yeah, got to keep him. Like I said, with Cock, he's versatile. We can play in different positions. You got to keep him.
Milner?
Yeah.
Pretty much play anywhere. Overall, everyone's saying keep. There's not a lot you can say about Dallas because at the end of the day, we all know what he brings. We know who he is, what he does, what he stands for, and just how much he loves this club. So yeah, Sturdy Dallas, no brainer. We are keeping him. I just love that keeps covering up the beardless wonder down there. Right, we are moving on to one that I'm actually going to be. I'm going to be more sad about this if it happens than whenever Calvin Phillips is actually announced that he's gone. Jamie Shackleton. It's looking a bit like Jamie Shackleton's at the end of days. Multiple rumours that Hull and QPR are looking at his signature, whether it's a loan or with the option to buy, whether it's a straight up buy, I don't know. I'm a bit gutted because I really, really felt Jamie Shack had something to offer last season and he never got the chance under Bielsa, and then he just didn't seem to impress Marsh either. I don't know. And maybe I'm seeing something that isn't there. I'd keep him. That's just me. And I would lock him under my stairs to make sure that he's playing and he's fit. Mike, we're going to start with you. Hit me up. What are your thoughts on Jamie Shack? Jamie Shack.
Mixture. Yeah, I like Jamie. I think he's a good player, but it all boils down with game time. If he's not going to get it, then sell him. I don't know if he's at the level or not yet, or if he ever will be. Yeah, I'm inclined to say sell.
Rihanna? I respect your opinion, but you're full of crap.
I'm of the opinion that we should loan him or sell him. I'm not sure which yet. I think maybe loan him out first, just to see how he is with more game time. Yeah, I feel bad for Shax, I'm not gonna lie. There's like his what was I watching today? I was watching Burnley versus Leeds today.
Yes.
On Sky on the Sky PL channel, and his setup for Bamford's goal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I think it's just the wrong time, the right place, but the wrong time for Shax. And I just feel bad for him. I think he just needs more game time, so I'd loan him. I don't think he's there yet in regards to where I feel like he's just trailing a bit behind in where Leeds are going. So like Leeds are up here and Shax is like falling behind a bit. So I think he just needs to go out on loan, get more game time, develop more as a player, and see where he is next season or even in 2 seasons.
These are all hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry, Scotty. But
If you're going to loan him and you want him to be at Leeds level, you need to loan him to another Premiership side. But at the same time, what is his best position? Is it centre mid, defensive mid, right back? Does he even know what his best position is?
Where will he fit in the new system that Jesse Marsh is implementing? You know, if you look at the right backs, if Jesse Marsh wants him at right back, well, then straight away I'm looking and going, right, well, Rasmus is number 1. Drama or Reeling at 2 and 3. You know, so that leaves Jamie Shack at 4, and even a fit Dallas is ahead of him in the pecking order. So he's essentially 5th choice right back. But if he's in midfield, he's behind Aronson, he's behind Kamara and Adams if they come in. He's behind Klitsch. He's essentially behind everyone. And it kills me. It really does. From what you guys have said and from what I'm reading in the comments, there seems to be more saying loan. So maybe Jamie has one last chance to prove he is the dog's balls that I think he is.
Well, the thing is, the thing is, look, Cody Drama went out on loan to Cardiff and proved that, you know, that, well, in some cases, proved us wrong. And if Jesse Marsh then decides, actually, I am going to play Drama second over Ayling, then that gives Shackleton hope, doesn't it? So if we loan him out, I think if we're going to loan him out and to give him the best chance, I'd rather him go to QPR than Hull.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just based on seasons before that we know QPR are generally a better team than Hull.
Yeah. Even Huddersfield, I think he would do rightly at Huddersfield.
Yeah, even Carlos,
Carlos could bring the best out of him, maybe.
Yeah. Huddersfield,
Yeah. Right. We're going to move on. we've just mentioned him as he has been keeping Rod Price in a job for the past 20 years. Adam Forshaw. At one point, I think we were calling for him to be player of the season. Because he backed up Rod's tweet saying he would be like a new signing. And he was. But of course, he's injured again. He's not at the right side of 30 anymore. What do you do with him? Mike, I'm going to go to you first.
I think it all depends on who we get in. I'd probably say keep him just there to be a backup in case, say, Rocco or whoever comes in gets injured and we need an experienced head.
Yeah. Rhiannon?
I feel sorry for Forshaw. I think he did come in and prove Rads' tweet right. It felt like we had a fresh player, a new player. But if I'm being honest, I felt like it went downhill like quite a bit, even before he fractured his kneecap. I felt like he wasn't being as effective. I don't know if that's just down to our run of games at the time and the opposition, but at the end of the day, we're going to be playing against his opposition again. Like, we're in the Premier League, and he needs to be consistent. And I felt that he wasn't consistent enough. I'd sell him personally. He's been a great staple of Leeds United, and he hasn't really done much wrong. It's just, I just think he's time.
Yeah. Being a bit.
But exactly, look, like I'd be playing bait in front of him.
Yeah. It's very true. There's other options there that are better than him, and as many are saying in the comments, Derek. Derek, again, thank you for helping us out with modding the channel. As he says, if we get all these incomings that we're rumoured to be getting, that pecking order for Forshaw starts going down even more. And Lewis Bate for me is, personally, I think he's above Forshaw in the pecking order. And it's one of those now, it's like you hate to say it, but I'm looking at the comments, and from what you guys are saying too, the only reason we'd be keeping him right now is for squad depth and that sort of leadership in the change room. There's going to be a lot of changes going on at Leeds. But if we get in those two players, it looks very much like what we would all want to see happen is, see you later, Forshaw. Thank you for your service. Good luck with your future endeavours.
Has he only got a year left on his contract, though?
Well, then he'd probably just be capped and he can leave for free. Oh, we extended it 1 year. So there we go. We'll change that. We're going to keep him. And then he can go and do whatever. You're not going to
get anything for him. You could get $500,000 maybe if you're lucky.
But this is it, right? I think like he'd be kept this season because he's injured. Like, he needs time to recuperate. But come next summer, I can see him being sold.
Just release it.
Well, that's under contract.
Like, whether that's to, I reckon that's to a championship club. I don't know. I don't know which one, because it depends on how bad or well that they do this coming season. But I see him going to a sort of mid-table, lower-end championship team just to see out his playing career personally. Because I still think he could do a job at that level, just not at the level of the Premier League.
Yeah. You see how fast that the Premier League evolves and moves on. You know, it was only 2 seasons ago where West Ham were looking dodgy. And then last season, they were really, really pushing. At one point, I was convinced they were getting Champions League. Newcastle are going to be up there pushing. Wasn't that long ago, Leicester won the Premier League, and now they're down in the bottom half of the table. Things are changing in the Premier League very, very quickly, and we need to be moving on with it. I think Forshaw, if this is his final year of the contract, we'll hang on to him this year and then let him go. We've just said about Lou Bate. Lou Bate, for me, definite future with us. There's no debate about that. For the limited time he's played, he's looked impressive and he's looked like he's got potential there. Mike, your thoughts on Masturbate?
If we're going to get those two rumoured midfielders loaning, he won't hardly play. I can only see us getting one of them, which in that case, keep at a push. But I'm on the loan side.
The loan side of it. Okay. Rhiannon, what about yourself?
I'm on keep. I honestly see him getting a lot more game time this season. Kind of a bit like how Joffrey was kind of under Marsh towards the end of last season. Because I think because like you said, Scotty, he likes the young players and he likes to give them the chance. And I think he'll definitely be given a lot more chances this season to prove himself, I think. Especially in the cup games as well. Especially if we get a cup run together, I can see him playing a lot more in them. So keep.
But if we do hopefully go for a cup run, which I believe may happen this season, I can see Bate featuring there. I think just looking at the comments, more people saying keep. Rhiannon's saying keep. Mike's saying loan. I'm saying keep. The keeps have it because we've got better facial hair than Mike. Not you, Rhiannon. You don't. Sorry about that. I looked over it as if you're sitting right there and you're not. That's really awkward. Awkward turtles. Right. Moving on to Klitsch. Marius Klitsch. Mike, I'll let you take us away. How do you feel Klitsch had last season?
Not a very good one. I think even in the first season in the Premiership, he wasn't there. He had a few good games, but I don't think he's at Premiership quality level where we want to be. If we're fighting for relegation, maybe keep him, but I think we want to push on. I think we need to sell him.
No. Rhiannon?
I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I've said all that about Forshaw, but I'd keep Click. I'd just for this season anyway. Kind of similar arguments to Ayling. He does Click when he came on as a sub under Marsh. I thought he was definitely more effective than an actual starter, and I think he still has that sort of. I still think he has some bit about him that's worth keeping around for this season anyway, and then probably sell him next summer.
Yeah. Where do you play though? If we are playing the 4-3-3,
he'll be a backup. He won't be playing. He won't be playing. He'll be a backup. He will definitely be a backup. But like I say, he'll be a bench warmer. But and that's the only reason why I'd keep him as well. Well, not the only reason, because obviously I've said other reasons, but another reason why I'd keep him is because, again, we need that squad depth. Like, at least while we're in this sort of transition from going from a really thin squad to building a squad and gaining that squad depth, there's, like I said, we'll still need to keep some driftwood. And one of them driftwoods would be Click that I'd keep for this season while we still get those incomings in this window, and then next season when we're sort of I'm hoping that we've secured another season in the Premier League. We're one step closer to being in a more established team in the Premier League. Then we can sell the rest of the driftwood off and get them players in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just because we're in that transitional period. Yeah. And that's,
I think a problem if we got rid of too many of the old hands now, there's no one there to help embed and welcome in the new guys and help them understand Leeds. And that's what we need them for. Well, Click, 100%, he is not going to be a starter this season. He is going to be a bench player, a squad player. He's there for depth, I believe. A lot of people in the comments are saying sell him. There are a lot of them are saying sell him. But I think for the purposes of, as you said, Rhiannon, and Mike, I think to some extent you said as well, is the squad depth is what we need him for. That's literally it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's needed in the team anymore. I don't feel that he contributed enough last season. But he doesn't get injured, and he does try. I just want to say it, he does try. But yeah, I think the smart thing to do is we will keep him, despite the general consensus is get rid of him. Right, moving on then. Who have we next here? Oh, I'm not going to him. Yep. We'll go to this one. Pretty easy. Helder Costa.
So.
Yeah, everyone at the same time. Just sell the comments. Does anyone even want the comment on it? Just Helder Costa.
Everyone's going to say sell.
Yeah, I'm just going for it now. Sell. Helder Costa, even though one of my tortoises were temporarily named after him, Shelder Costa, and my other Herman tortoise was called Pablo Hernandez, because I am fond of an old pun. Yeah, everyone's just like, I'm not even running all that up. Give him away, sell him. Yeah, he's done. He's gone. Right, okay. Where was the other one? Right, him. Tyler Roberts.
So, I'll drive him to the airport. Just get rid of him. Honestly.
Yep, let me see. But Rihanna, what are you saying?
I say loan. I say loan. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see the comments. People are still commenting. We've moved on to Roberts. And who's they're still talking about? Yeah, regardless, I like that deal. My tortoise was better than Costa. It still is. It's alive. I'm not saying that like it's gone. Costa is not Raphinha's replacement.
Because look, the whole reason I say loan is because, yeah, it was a bit hard. It's a bit harsh on Tyler, I suppose. Like last season, I think Joe mentioned it on his channel. Like he couldn't help the fact that he was being chosen as a sub, like consistently by Bielsa. Like, you could it's just Bielsa's stubbornness, wasn't it? Like you could predict like the sub and the exact minute of like who was coming on. Doesn't matter what game was going on, doesn't matter what strategy or what tactic was being used, you just knew that was the sub and that was the time that they were going to come on. But I was one of Tyler's harshest critics, if I'm being honest, and I don't mind I don't mind being shouted down for it. But there were games where Tyler didn't really do anything wrong. Like he actually provided some spark to some games. Do you know what I mean? Like
his worth ethic, yes. But
I just think he should go on loan, and then if it works out, then sell him to that club or something. But I don't know. As it all depends where we are next season. I mean, at the end of this coming season, because we need to see what these new guys are like, and if like say for example, it's the same as Shackleton. If there's a chance of them coming back and making an impact. If not, if all our incomings light it up in the Premier League, none of them are going to stand a chance to come back in. None of them. So you might as well sell them to the club that they're at, or to another club, just so they can have the game time and give them a chance to excel in their careers.
Yeah. Overall, it's looking like people want to sell Tyler Roberts. I kind of feel like it's like putting down a newborn puppy. He's so likable. He's such a lovely, nice guy. If you meet him to talk to him, he is so considerate and nice. The amount of charity work he does, and just overall, he's just a nice guy. But it just hasn't worked. And I'm sorry. And I hate to be that person. But being a nice guy isn't going to cut it for dirty Leeds.
No.
And it just isn't. And it's not his fault that he was getting all that abuse. It's not. Bielsa chose him over Joe Gelhardt, over Sam Greenwood constantly.
Yeah, but then when Marsh got he started paying him as well.
What was this?
When he got injured, was that under Marshall Bielsa?
I think it was under Marsh. It was just before Marsh came in, he got injured, was it?
I think it was just before Marsh, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think
Because he was on the bench for the last game.
If I remember, I think Roberts got injured and then Bielsa got sacked like a couple of days later.
Yeah. That's what it was. But sure, it's not Roberts' fault. But I think overall, most of us are saying sell him. Just he needs a fresh start. In a non-malicious way, he needs to go. He needs away from the club because he's not going to do his career any favours. Hell, he might end up being a star player in pre-season under Marsh and this new system. And he could come out in the first game of the season in the Premier League and be an absolute worldly. And we're sitting going, where has this been? Doubt it's going to happen, but I'm just saying it could. Right. So that is Roberts done with. Dan James. He's only here a year.
He is our resident Duracell bunny, and that's all.
Energy for days.
Literally, he can run that field like all day long, but his end product is nil.
Yeah.
Like the goals he actually scored were dodgy as anything. They were just sheer dumb luck. Because if I've forgotten the header he did that scored. He scored.
Yeah,
it literally bounced out of the goalkeeper's hands into the goal. So I like James, but it's just at the moment he hasn't really proved much to me in regards to his spot in the team. Obviously I'd keep him, but we just have to see what this coming season has in store for him.
Yeah. Let me see. Mike, what are you saying? I'm just browsing through the comments here and listening intently to your beardless input.
All right. Keep him, but obviously be on the bench, bring him up, swap formations around, and then get him behind the defenders.
Yeah. I think he's going to work really, really well this season. And as the season went on, personally, I felt he was getting better. His heart's in the right place. He has the ability. But I think a lot of the end product this year, I think for me, was the same problem with Harrison. And it was more down to the fact there was no one up there for them to aim for. But then he's playing most of the season as a blanket striker. And he wasn't a striker. And I think Jesse Marsh had to learn that when he came in. I don't think Jesse Marsh understood why Marcelo Bielsa was playing him as a striker. So I think he just stuck to it because that's what the team were used to doing and just slowly changing things. Obviously, when the new season comes, it'll all be different. But yeah, for me, I'd keep him. And play him in more of an attacking midfielder role. Hopefully that is what happens. There seems to be a real mix here in the comments. People saying we got shafted by him. We wouldn't get anywhere near the money we paid for him. I believe that after last season we certainly wouldn't. Cape?
Yeah.
Cape. We'll go with Cape. That's what we would do anyway. Right. Harrison was just discussing him briefly. Very much like Dan James, except I think he had much better vision. But for anyone that watched me on the watch longs, you'll see how frustrated I got with Harrison in every single game. My problem with Harrison has been in every single game, he works himself into trouble. He gets the ball, he has loads of time, loads of space, loads of options, and he always has picked the wrong option, bar one or two occasions. We've had him now, 4 years he's been with us. This is
I
fourth
want to
year.
say it's 4 seasons now.
Yeah.
We loaned him for 3, and then he signed last
And then he
season.
sang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, kick us off. What would you do with Harrison? Keep, loan, sell, and why?
Keep him.
Mm-hmm.
Just, squad depth as well. I think that he can either play as a left attacking mid, or even if you convert him into a left back, left wing back, I think he'd do a good job there. And the fact that he scored the goal that kept us up, that also plays a part in it. I don't see why we would sell him. I know there's rumours going around about 30 million for him, but
that's hard to turn down, really.
Well, that's gone cold now, and there was a rumour about him going to Newcastle for 30 million, and then nothing else got said over it. It just sounded like some people were just spitballing for no reason, just to stir it up. But yeah.
Even if that offer come in, I'd still say just keep him, see how he does next season in the system, regardless of not. Because previously Jesse's known for changing his tactics around anyway. So if he does start with a 4-2-2, he will then go to wingers, and he's one of our better wingers that we've got. Okay, fair enough, his end product isn't there, but then look at your other players with their end product. You've got Rodrigo's end product is poor. James's end product is poor.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this. I say this season, it's hard to just gone. It's hard to critique on them because all of them were so bad. But I think Harrison was one of the good ones. His work ethic is exceptional. You can't fault him. I mean, I get where you're coming from, Scotty, but sometimes he's just, I don't know. Him and Raph worked well on the wings together. But I mean, I even saw a comment saying that he needs to work on his crosses because he mishits them, and it just made me think, but he works so well with Bamford, in our first season back with the crosses, and it's almost like, I don't know, is it almost like muscle memory where he'll be putting them crosses in, almost wanting Bamford, even though he's not there, to be on the end, expecting him to be on the end, and because no one else is Bamford, they're not twigging that's what he's trying to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't bloody hell, he's been one of our most important players because he has got goals on the, he has been on the score sheet. He got a hat trick, for Christ's sakes, against West Ham.
Against West Ham, yeah.
I mean, that's impressive.
He was top goal scorer as well last season. Was he our second or third top goal scorer?
I think he was our third.
I want to say second because I think Raphinha was on with 11, and then I think it was Harrison, and then was it Geldhart after? I'm not sure.
Well, I leave stat collection stuff to Phil and Oscar. They're better at the knowledgeable things. Listen, overall, reading the comments and from what you guys are saying, and I do agree, whilst I was frustrated watching, as you do whenever you're watching the game live, it's all emotion. It's all emotion. I wouldn't get rid of him. I wouldn't even entertain it unless someone genuine offer 30 million or something. But then you kind of have to weigh up your options. And it'll not happen. But overall, we need him. He's versatile. He can play as an attacking midfielder. And he's going to suit this system. And we're going to keep him. Rhiannon, I'm so sorry. I've covered your face. Here, we're going to fix this. Hang on. Boom. Sorted.
That's better.
Oh, Mike. Right. We are getting to the nitty gritty here. I'm going to do it. Anyone want to start? We know it's happening, but I want to know, would you sell him or would you keep him?
Of the last 6 months, Stout, I think just his attitude, work rate, for me, it hasn't been there. I do think the price is a little bit cheap. I know I've seen a lot of people say, a lot of people have been saying that they paid too much for him, or it. For me, we could have got another 10 million personally, but I would have said sell.
Okay, Rhiannon. Imagine there's no deal essentially done. You know the way Fabrizio Romano's been saying for the past 3 weeks, it's a done deal, and we're still waiting on it.
Thing is, it's hard not to bring sentiment into it. If I'm bringing sentiment into it, I want him to stay for another year.
Yeah.
I do, because he didn't really have a season last season, did he? Like, at the end of the day, he spent most of it injured. So it would have been nice for him to give us another year, I suppose. But I mean, in regards to his contract length and him not really wanting to sign it, I don't know what goes on in the back. I'm not saying that I'm in the know or anything, but you know, the fact that there wasn't an extension and an extension wasn't signed and there wasn't a set amount release clause done. I know some people. I know on Twitter, loads of people were disappointed with the actual value of what we sell them for. It's reasonable to say that he's coming on to turning 27 this year at some point, and he was out all last season. He had a shocking Nations League. It's kind of that thing where you'd think it's that ongoing debate, isn't it? If he gave Leeds another year, he'd probably cement his England spot. If he went to City, he's giving up his England spot because he's not going to get regular game time. Not in front of Rodri, I don't think, anyway.
No.
So, and I think Southgate has come out and said, if you're not playing consistently, you are giving up your England spot. Like that was said towards Sancho and Rashford because they didn't have much game time either. So it's kind of saying that I got player of the tournament, but I'm happy to sacrifice my England spot and sit on a bench. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, if he'd rather do that than play for Leeds, good riddance. I mean, I loved what KP did for us, but
it's sad but true, isn't it?
Just wish him good luck, I suppose. But I don't want to be playing up against him. I hope there's a clause in there, by the way. That says
from he came back from injury, and a lot of people saying it in the comments, from he came back from injury, he was a different player. And for those that watch the international football, he was dreadful against Hungary. Dreadful. In fact, most of that England team were, in fairness. Spoke to a couple of Man City boys about this because I've said about the fact that Calvin's basically given up being a star player in a team, in a big club, whilst we're not challenging for trophies and things. And this argument of, he's done this for the club and he's 26 now, he's coming 27, the lad deserves silverware. I am sorry, but no footballer deserves or are entitled to trophies and medals. They have to earn it.
Yeah.
And Calvin will get winners' medals at Man City. There's no doubt about that. But in fact, a couple of us have said this in the chat, he will know deep down inside himself how little he will have contributed to that.
Just a participation award, isn't it?
But, well, that's it. he showed up, you know.
Yeah.
And I can't even say I'm happy for him because I'm not. I don't want to see a guy that supports Leeds his whole life, grew up, came through the academy. At one point, we wanted rid of him instead of Ronnie Vieira. And then he becomes a star player for us. I don't want to see him going and being a shell of the player he was because he wants to play for the biggest team in England. You know, he's used to playing the packed out, boisterous, loud, mental Leeds fans to go and play in front of a half-empty Etihad Stadium to tourists. If that's what he wants and he wants the big pay packet, then fair enough. You know, his head's turned, whatever. We know what's happening. I personally, and I'll be honest, out of him and Raph, he's the one I would have sold. I'd be keeping Raph all day long. I think Raph will be more pivotal than Jesse March's system. I think the Bielsa system suited because it revolved around Calvin a lot, whereas Jesse March's system most likely won't.
This is it. Like, if you ask me which player would we miss the most this coming season, it'd be Rafa.
Yeah.
Like, in regards to how we play now under Marsh, etc.
Yeah.
But if you ask me which player am I most gutted about losing, well, obviously that's Phillips, isn't it? Because he's a Leeds lad. Like, it's just it showed in those last 12 games or whatever. It just, like, when he came back, the Marsh system just wasn't working for him, and it just doesn't work for his position. So
I'm just glancing through the comments here, and I actually can't. It seems to be 50-50 on whether you'd have kept him or whether you'd have sold him. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to decide. If he wasn't essentially sold already, what would you have done? Would you sold him or kept him?
If it was a choice of him and Raphinha, Sal.
Okay.
In the system, if it's in the system as well, I'd also Sal. So yeah.
Yeah. Sal.
Yeah.
It's a harsh one to take because he is one of our own, and he always will be. But I think with the way the club's going now, he's the one we would have sold. It's a bit sad, and he is going, but sure. Right, let's lighten the mood. Raphinha. Oh, Jesus Christ. Raphinha, he's going at some point. Would you keep him? I'm getting
frustrated.
Would you keep him?
I'm of the mindset with this ongoing saga. I'm calling it a saga because it is a big saga. I'm of the mindset of this saga that he may be willing and content to stay for if he doesn't get his Barcelona move, but I am not happy as a fan to have a player that is still that's head is still somewhere else and wants to be somewhere else. And last season he was just not at the races, was he? Let's be honest. No. Like, most of the time he just was not showing up, and it's almost like his terms or whatever with Barcelona were agreed in January, March time.
And terms were agreed with Bayern Munich in December, according to Fabrizio Romano as well. Remember?
And literally, I can't fault him for the fact that when we played against Brentford, when we needed him most, he did show up and he pulled out a great performance. But if he's content to stay and it doesn't happen and he wants to hold out a move for Barcelona and he stays with Leeds, I want you showing up every game now. Like, don't give in half-assed performances, and then when we actually need something to be pulled out of the bag, you then show up. I don't want that. Like, I want a player who wants to play for Leeds and who wants to play for the shirt and know what it means of side before self, because at the moment you're just thinking about yourself because you're looking for another move. So I'd rather Deco is just grinding my gears because well, he's a Chelsea boy. Like, That's what it like. Do you know what I mean? I'm telling you, he'd rather Raf go to Chelsea. I'm sure of it. Like he'd rather just get that. He wants that pay packet.
Is this Deco?
Deco,
Yeah.
obviously, like he wants Raf. Like he sorted out Rafa to go to Barcelona. There's rumours to say that Deco's already been paid by Barcelona for this whatever agent fee or whatever it is. But then he's also gone and spoke to Chelsea and sorted out a 60 mil thing.
Yeah.
And Rafa's like, "What are you doing, mate? Like, I want to go to Barcelona. I don't want to go to Chelsea. I don't want to go to Arsenal." But he's being a right little sly little.
Yeah.
Twat, isn't he?
I would like this. I'd said the Oscar in a message that if Barca are that skint, if Raphinha is that willing to hold out to move to Barca, I would happily, again, as you said, if he showed up every game, I would happily keep him for the remainder of his contract and let him go on the friggin' free. I do not want Raphinha going up against Junior Firpo. I don't want him going up against Leo Helder. I don't want Raphinha going up against anyone in our team because he'll destroy us. He probably wrecks them in training. So
if he plays his heart out and actually shows up game for game, I'm happy for him to stay at Leeds and to hold out for that 60 million plus move to Barcelona.
Yeah.
But I want that 60 mil. Like he is worth that money. I do not want him going to Barcelona for 40. Like no, that's not happening. And that's why this is being dragged on because Chelsea are willing to pay that up front.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to sell him to Chelsea. I'd rather take the installments because, as Chris explained this, that counts as money owed, so we can spend that 60 million knowing it's coming in without breaching FFP. So I'd be happy to go. Yeah, like Barcelona, you want to pay 20 now, then 20 next year, and 20 the year after. Happy days. Let's get this done. Take Raphinha. Give us that 20 mil. We're going to go buy another few players. There we go. Sorted. So,
the thing is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but then why are we? Then why are we not accepting that? Like, what's the other reason? Because are we just wanting it all up front? Are we being selfish? Is that what it is? Are we just being hardball because now we're just for the sake of being hardball?
That's the thing. Is the bid even here, or is it just paper talk saying that there has been a 60 million bid?
Yeah.
Because if there was, then surely you'd accept it. Okay, fair enough. We want the money up front.
Exactly.
But Raphinha wants to go to Barcelona. I think the club are happy for him to go. But the fact that they've already accepted a 60 million bid from Chelsea means that they don't mind him going.
Yeah.
So in that sense, why not accept it? He goes, he gets his move, we get the money, we can then invest in other players. Yeah.
I'm going to round this up. I'm going to round this up because I want to try and wrap this up. I've been doing this for nearly 2 hours. I think this is possibly as long as a watch along nearly. And we've got a couple more players to go. So quickly, everyone in the comments, just one word. Would you keep him, loan him, or sell him? Mike, Raphinha, keep or sell?
If his head was in it and he was giving us 7 or 8 out of 10 to every single game, keep. If not, if his head's not with it, sell him.
Okay. Rhiannon?
I'd keep him.
Okay.
If he wanted to, if he was happy to stay another year, I'd keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm of the same mindset. Let me see where we are in the comments. One more, get them in. Keep sale. Cockney White. Keep Scooby-Doo too. Keep Scooby-Doo. Anyway. Sell and set a deadline for him to go. That's something like we discussed before. Was sell him now, but he can go later. Buy now, take later, or is it take now, pay later? That's what Barcelona want. Take now, pay later. John Knox, keep. Gail Dale, keep. Mickey D, keep. I don't know what that is. Sell. Ollie on tour, sell. Adam Wedgwood, keep, but sell for no less than 60 million. Yeah, I think overall, compared to Calvin Phillips, a lot of us are saying keep Raphinha. That is the one, definitely, I think, out of them two, that's who I would keep. Please, oh, now I'm covering your face. Smash that like for us, please. Right, we are down to our last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players.
Look at that. Got it.
What?
What is
Why
this?
do we need squad depth? I'm like, where? What? This isn't even including our new signings.
No,
There it is.
no,
Right, go to quick fire. Somerville,
Woo.
keep loan sale.
loan.
Low.
Rhiannon, loan. In the comments, quickly, as we discuss why we would loan Somerville, because I too think a loan move, because he's a winger, I would want to see him play in a more central attacking midfield role, sort of potentially where Marsh could play him in a right attacking midfield or left. Rhiannon, why would you want to loan him?
Just because I think with all our incomings at the moment, that it'll be about third in the pecking order or something along them lines. So just to give him game time, a bit of experience, championship, a good like a top to mid table, that sort of top half championship team. Like, just to give him a bit of game time. Yeah,
Mike, why would you want to loan him?
For game time, basically. If he's not going to get it, then I'd probably say to Blackburn. If you could pick a club, I'd say Blackburn.
Yeah. You say about Blackburn there, it reminds me, I have left someone out as well. Overall, it looks like, I've just remembered because he's back. I thought he was gone.
Sell him.
Jan Pavetta.
Sell him.
Okay. Right, so overall, everyone is saying Somerville would be loaned. Right, okay, and just for argument's sake, I'm leaving that up there. Jan Pavetta, who I like, and again, he is liked within the team. You see it in training. Keep loan sale.
Sell.
Comments on Jan Pavetta. Dom, what are you at? Oh, God. Pavetta sell. Pavetta in the bin. Forgot he's a Leeds player. So did I. Didn't even have his name down. Give him away. Sell. Right, okay. We're going to go with Pavetta. I'm so sorry because I really wanted you to do well. I have almost Shackleton feelings towards Jan Pavetta. Sorry, mate. In the bin with you. Right. Where are we now? Sam Greenwood.
Keep.
I think everyone is going to be on the same board with this. With very, very few options up front. And if we do not sign Charles de Ketelaere or any striker, again, we've been linked with that many from Pats and Daka to Octavia from him.
The Otavio from the Portuguese.
That's the one,
league.
Rhiannon. I'm not very good with these names. If it's not Smith or Johnson, I'm not good with it. I struggle with your surname. Well, that's it. Yours is easy. It's like 5 letters. But yeah, let me see. What are you all thinking about Greenwood? Both saying keep?
Keep.
Yeah, keep.
Yeah, I'm saying keep as well. And in the comments, where are we? Right, okay. John Webus, loan, keep. Do you know what? I think Greenwood's going to be kept. He's a keeper. Well, he's not. He's actually a striker or an attacking midfield. We've already done the keepers. Oh, dad joke galore. Right. Joe Geldhart. I don't know if this moment in time he has signed his new deal. Is this worth debating? Why do you want to sell him? No, he's a keeper. There is no doubt. Joe Geldhart he's going to go down. Once he gets this chance, I think he's going to be a Viduka level. Like in our memories, that's the hopes and optimism I have about Geldhart. I genuinely see him at Viduka levels.
To be fair, I don't think you're going to be wrong.
I don't.
He is such a talent. He's such
on a
talent.
bad day, he'll be Becchio levels. On a bad day.
On a bad day.
Yeah. On a bad day, Joffrey could be Becky O levels.
Oh, I love
And on his
Becky.
peak, he's going to be Viduka.
I love Luciano Becchio.
Luciano Becchio. Yeah, I'm not even going through the comments. Everyone, give him a new long-term contract. I think he currently is in discussion for a 5-year extension. I think.
Yeah, I think quite a few of the young players are in discussion for extensions.
Not Tyler Roberts, though.
No.
Anyway, we're keeping you. Tyler Roberts, enjoy your ice cream in Swansea or wherever you may find yourself. Right, we're down to our last two. Boom. Paddy Bamford pretty much missed the whole season. Keep loan sell. Keep.
He didn't get 17 goals for no reason.
True. And in the closed door friendly the other night against Stoke, who scored? Bamford. There we go. We're keeping Paddy. There we go. Yeah, everyone's saying we're coming to the end here. We're keeping Patrick Bamford. Keep your hands off him, Newcastle. Keep your hands up. Can I just point out, someone in the comments earlier did say, sell Firpo and buy Charlie Taylor. Have you just started supporting Leeds?
No.
Right. We have one last player. Have I forgot anyone else? No. Rodrigo.
Sell.
Keep, loan, sell. This is our last one of the night. We're nearly 2 hours in. What would you do, Mike?
For the numbers, I'd say keep, unless we're going to get an out-and-out striker.
Okay.
We keep.
Right, okay. Rihanna?
Sell.
Well, just do you need to be somewhere? Am I keeping you back right now?
No.
Are you going to miss Love Island?
No. So I haven't been watching it for 4 years, so I haven't got no clue what's going on.
Oh no,
anyway,
me and the wife were catching up because we were on holiday.
No,
Can you tell them my town?
I'd sell because he got given his opportunity, and I'd probably say 3 matches out of 20 odd that he, that actually did all right, but the rest. It just, he so frustrates me. Like, even under Bielsa, he frustrated the hell out of me. Like, we're supposed to be this, this high pressing, high tempo, all out attacking, team, and you're just jogging around like you're in a park.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's no urgency about you. There's he just frustrated the hell out of me. And I was just like, I was thinking,
I like Chris's input here.
I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but I rewatched the Wolves game. Now, I don't know if it was, I don't know what the reason was behind it, but Harrison scored, right? So why is it as soon as Harrison has scored and everyone's celebrating, we've scored a goal, we only need to score another, and then we're back in the game. So why does Rodrigo go over and basically rip his head off?
Yeah.
Actually has a go at him. And then Harrison's looking like, dude, really?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is that need? Is that need because you were the one that wanted to score?
He wanted the glory.
If you wanted to score, why were you freaking miles away from the freaking goal in the first place? You weren't even in position.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It's the entitlement. And the thing is, right, Rodrigo, you're not worth 30 bloody million to jog on.
Do you see the celebration again? All he did was like that, and that was it. Nobody overdid him. He literally stood there and just went like that.
I think the worry is if we were to sell Rodrigo, you'd be lucky to get any more than 10 for him.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone paying more than 10 for him. But overall consensus is Ding, 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 ding.
But the
ding,
thing
ding.
is, though, he won't get sold because he's part of the leadership council now,
Well,
and
that's
Jesse
it.
Marsh believes in him.
Yeah. Well,
So
you have to respect him for sort of.
No, but do you know what I'd say to Rodrigo is? Literally follow the philosophy of the football club, which is side before self, at your bloody age, and actually show Marsh. Not just show Marsh, because obviously you've proven to Marsh that because you're capable in some aspects, but prove to the fans, because that's the thing. The like you've got to win over the fans more than anything else, because everyone. Well, practically nearly everyone thinks you're not worth the 30 million.
Yeah.
They think you're all a fraud.
No.
They think you're a fraud. That you're literally just here for the bloody pay packet.
Yeah. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing.
And do you know what annoyed
he's shown
me
he's
though as
capable.
well, Scotty? Another thing that annoyed me about him was that after he had a go at Harrison after that first goal, he scored the equaliser and jogged all over to the fans, jumped in the crowd and celebrated with everyone. Everyone was loving it, obviously, because you know players are coming to you and you want to hug the players. But by God, don't be such a freaking hypocrite. Why are you having a go at Harrison? Well, you've just literally what?
Yeah.
What do you want? You want to be centre of the show? Well, bloody prove it then.
That's why I put you in the middle now, so people can hear you better. But yeah, no, fair point. He's showed on so many occasions he is capable. So where's the consistency and where's the effort week in, week out? We haven't seen it, as you say. He's not worth 30 million at all. I think we would take the hit on it and sell him. Even if we don't bring in another striker, I don't even know if I'd want to keep him around for squad depth. I think he would be really disruptive if he's not getting game time. I really do. Because I would be having Greenwood and Joffrey and Bamford all ahead of him in the pecking order. All of them. I would have Archie Gray above him in the pecking order. You know? But
it's just disappointing, Scotty, though. It's just disappointing because I want him to do so well. I don't want people to call him a fraud. You know, I don't want to get pissed off at him. I want him to do well. I think he deserves his chance. Jesse obviously believes in him. Yeah. Obviously, something in him to be part of the leadership council and obviously sees him as a leader in this team. But he's just not proving it to me.
Yeah. And
I don't know if he's proven it to you guys, but he should be proving it to the fans as well.
Yeah, it's the passion as well, as you say. You know, he's a few times just dandering down the tunnel while the rest of the team's celebrating, and then he's having to be dragged back out and things. And as you said, having to go with Harrison after he scored and stuff, and you're like, where's the team spirit? Where's this love for the team? You know? But unfortunately, he has turned out to be a bit of a fraud, Rodrigo. Despite what have seen flashes of, we know what he can do. He hasn't done it. Who knows? Maybe next season he has this wild breakout season as he approaches the end of his career. But look, it is what it is. Tonight was a lot of fun. Thank you very, very much for joining me, folks. Hopefully we'll have a lot more content coming out in the coming weeks. It's been very, very quiet here at All Leeds TV. Unless you're in our WhatsApp group, and it's just we talk so much crap, but mostly from me. But yeah, look, thanks very much for joining us. Make sure you do indeed smash that wee like button that's right down under the beardless Mike's. I would say beard, but he's one of the chins. More chins in the. I love you too. Mate, that's why I keep my beard. There you go. But listen, thanks very, very much for joining us. Make sure you do like, subscribe, and follow us on all the socials. We are going to have more stuff coming up, and I'm expecting this week you might see a few reactionary videos to potential signings, incomings, and outgoings. I might even cry if Jamie Shackleton leaves. I'm never thinking about it. Just smile and wave, boys. See you all later. Bye. Bye. Jeez.